name is Beth, otherwise known in the knitting community as Bugsy the Knitter. And this is Trimley. He was going to be part of my therapy practice, but unfortunately he does not have the temperament to be a therapy dog, so he is now just part of the family. I've done a podcast or a vlog, whatever, in quite a while, and so I'm going to try and get caught up with some of the things that I've been wanting to share about my knitting adventures and yarning adventures. So yes, tonight I'm going to try and record one, if not two, just because there's like a lot of things that I do want to talk about, but I think it's too much for one. So a couple of fun things. We might actually get storms tonight. It's August in Arizona, and our monsoon has been a non-soon, which really sucks. I miss it being cold and dark, so that's fun. But yes, I plan on getting some knitting done tonight, some admin work. But yes, I do want to do some time doing a vlog because I've got some things that I've been putting away until I vlog about them. And I'm trying to get some better energy in the house and organize things. So yeah, I need to finally talk about them. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about my projects. And he's going to sneeze. So one of the first things that, got a sewing needle there, need to be careful with that, I have been working on is from my favorite things, it's the number 9 camisole. So I made this with yarn from Super Glow. I got that at a pop-up trunk show that she had at Tempe Yarn and Fiber at some point last year. I really like it. I love the edging. What did take, it was a pickup knit edging, and so then you knit it out and then about 2 inches worth and then cast off, and now I am very meticulously sewing it down. And so yeah, I've got the other whole armhole to do, the neck hole, and then I will block it. I love it so much that I plan on making another one. So yeah, I really like how this turned out. I like the colors of wool. I am trying to make more staple pieces, things that I'll wear more often. I'm also knitting a beanie for my son that's currently on the go. I just cast this off yesterday. My eldest, or second eldest, my eldest maternal niece is pregnant with her 3rd baby. So in that side of the family, I will have 5 nieces and nephews, including the bonus nieces and nephews. And so this is a camisole, this is a romper that I'm making for her daughter. So it's going to have like the snap up bit for the diaper or nappy, and then I need to get some cute buttons to go in the back. It's similar to, it's the same exact pattern that I used to make one for my daughter when she was about 10 months old. I made it in the size 3 months, but it looks massive, and I've got some of this left over. I still need to do the I-cord for the waist, but I think there'll be enough out of this that I can eke out another small project, so that's pretty cool. Now there's going to be rustling. I think the pattern is in here. Oh, so I also have this weekender hat that I'm making for myself. So this was picked up when my daughter was in England close to my birthday, and so a friend got me this yarn, which I'll note what, I have it right here, look at me being organized. It is Baby Alpaca Double Knitting by King Cole. And so this calls for row and cocoon. And yeah, so I didn't do a gauge because I don't do gauges unless I really want to do a gauge. But I'm about done with the ribbing for the hat, for that bit, the rim, there we go. And then I'm going to switch over and do the eyelet pattern for the beanie. And maybe one day it'll be cool enough here to get to wear it. This pattern is by Woolly Wormhead. There are a couple of really cute things in here that I do want to make. I've been more excited by color work lately. And so also I love these hearts in here. So I've been wanting to do some like soft decorations for the house. There was like a basket pattern in here, I think. And so I really liked how that looked. I kind of made one, but not really that well because I ran out of yarn. But yeah, so really love this that they picked up for me when they were in England. And the other thing that I have on my needles right now, I did cast on a pair of socks today, or late last night I started casting them on. And so that's been fun. Well, it's not been fun, I just cast them on. But I have a lot of like sock yarn that I'm actually going to use for socks and people I want to make socks for. So I was like, okay, I should just always have a pair of socks on the go, and they're a great on the go project. So got some socks cast on, got another pair somewhere in a basket. That's kind of gross now. I was making this mitered square blanket for my daughter's bed, but as a very opinionated 4-year-old, she let me know that she does not like it, and she only wants a blanket out of blue and pink. So I guess I now have a blanket that I'm working on for me. I was doing it with one repeated color per row, and yeah, and then not trying to duplicate any yarns for the alternate squares, but which is kind of, it's not the hardest thing to do because I have lots of people who have given me like oddments. I have lots of stash yarn, I've inherited yarn from people, but I'm still going to try and keep it keep the same concept if possible. I do feel like the lime green kind of threw it a bit off, so I'm probably going to frog that back. And I'm actually going to make my tattoo artist a pair of socks, so I might use the lime green for her, but I'm not sure. The other thing that I got done was Tour de Fleece happened, along with Tour de France, and then following that Tour de Femmes. And so with my e-spinner that I bought, this is a Apothecary Fabrications. I made this and I love it, and I made it all on my e-spinner. Not one of the nice fancy e-spinners that you see. I hate using the word fancy, but not one of the e-spinners that you see that runs for $700 to $1,000. But I found one on Facebook Marketplace that was significantly cheaper. It's pretty old school. It's by like Heavenly Spinnery, I think, and I love it. And it's just my speed. I do get to where I overspin, and I haven't figured that out, but I could probably watch a video and figure it out. And then this, I did one ply of this with my drop spindle and the other ply with, so one with the drop spindle, one with the e-spinner, and then I applied it together counterclockwise, and that was fun. So I do have, not necessarily this one, but I do have an art project, an art knitting project that I'm planning on making with this, with both of them. I want to start doing more knitted art, but I like it. It's not consistent, but it's consistently inconsistent, and it all kind of falls within the same range. I mean, there's definitely some lace weight bits in there, but also some bulky, so that's kind of, it's cool. It's Beth-like. Acquisitions. Okay, so I've really been wanting to put this yarn away and get some of it going, but I gotta remember to make sure that I have both legs showing so I don't look like I only have one leg. I went to Thailand and trained at Super Bond training camp for about 8 or 9 days back in February. It was a dream to go to Thailand. I went with my Muay Thai coach at the time, TJ at Fight Farms, and it was so much fun. I retained so much water while I was there. I've done some other like micro blogs about the trip. I really loved it. I would definitely go back. I want to train there some more. Met some really nice people. A couple of people who, when I go back to England at some point, I hope to see and connect with, like some really great women out there too. But so ever since we started planning a trip to Thailand, I knew that I wanted to go to a yarn store. The first time I went to Thailand was in 2011, and we went to a big mall, and I was quite pregnant, and I wanted to go to find some yarn, but there was just like one boutique inside a mall, and the yarn selection was more like DK and acrylics. And so I looked up some yarn stores online, saved it to our Google maps of like where we were going to go when we were in Thailand, and we made it happen. The first yarn store we went to was called the Big Knit Cafe, and I feel like I said that really English. Cafe. Probably more so English in my head than out loud. And so I had one of the best meals that I had in Thailand at the cafe. It was gorgeous. It was very aesthetically pleasing. The food, the restaurant, the yarn store, just like, it's so cute, and I'll definitely put some pictures up. But so my daughter, being the most girly girl she's so girly compared to how I thought she would be. But so she's in her pink era, and it's kind of nice because it's allowing me to embrace my femininity a bit more, which I've always been moderately feminine, and I love wearing skirts and dresses, but she loves the dresses and the frills and tutus. So yeah, so I got 2 balls of this. It is made in Italy, but it's made for Big Knits. And so this one is 100% extra fine merino wool. It looks like a superwash. I'm not sure how I'd be able to tell this, but I'm going to make her a little tank top out of this. So that's exciting. Finally talking about this yarn and covering up my notes at the same time. I was fascinated with their t-shirt yarn, and so it looked like crochet was more prominent than knitting, but I really like this t-shirt yarn, and I'm trying not to do the thing where I only buy one skein or one ball, and then I'm like, oh no, I don't have enough to make a whole thing. So I got this t-shirt yarn from Big Knit. It's maroon. I'm definitely liking maroon. So I got 2 of those. I don't know why then I think I picked this. I definitely picked this up at the same time. But yeah, I do weird things. But so then I also got this cotton and acrylic. It's not a t-shirt yarn. My noodles are probably done. But so I like this. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. Probably like a tank top or a bralette or something. But I like it. I'm intrigued by it. And then let's see. This wasn't from there. I saw this online. This is extra fine merino. Again, this is just for Big Knit. It is called Super Soft. So I love the shades of brown and blue and oranges in there. It screams autumn. And so it also kind of looks like my high school colors, which were blue and orange. Quite unfortunate. Looked like a big pumpkin when I graduated. So I got that there. Let's see. This one that I got here? Nope. So that I got those there, and then there's another thing that I'll post a picture of, but I also got, when we went to the Big Knit inside the M Mall, the day before we left, I got this little purse opening plastic clasp, which I thought was neat. And then a couple days later, we went to the DIY yarn store, and I don't want to butcher the name. I will tag it. And so it was a beautiful rainy day, and I purchased so much yarn that she gave me a freebie. So she gave me this little needle holder and stitch markers. She said, "Do you want?" And I was like, "Yes, please." I asked her if she would take a picture with me, and she said no. And I was kind of like, a little bit sad, but that's fine, I respect it. So I got this velvet yarn from there, and I love how that turned out. Or not how it turned out, I loved how it looks. I love the texture. I mean, it's acrylic, or polyester. But I love it. I have a Valentine's Day project that I want to make out of that. Not planning ahead at all. Again, with the t-shirt yarn, I love this orange. I love how vibrant it is. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. It's 35% cotton, 65% polyester. But I feel like it's enough to where I should be able to make a cool, maybe like an oversized boxy tee out of it. I got this macrame yarn. I'm just learning how to crochet and doing it pretty poorly. But I thought this would make for some cool household accessories. You can't tell here, maybe a little bit there, but I do have a lot of like golden / mustard yellow in my living room. So that was exciting. This is pure wool that I got from there. I like the pink. It looks like it's an Aran weight. I just got one. I thought maybe a beanie or maybe like some fingerless gloves, but I was definitely trying to like be aware of how, you know, being a tourist and contributing to the economy, that's how I justify buying yarn. And then I saw this, it was sticking out of a box, and I asked her about it, and it was designed in London, and I do like neutrals with like the pops of color in there, so I like how subtle it is. I did get two. This was the most expensive yarn I got while I was there, but it's merino, and so I was thinking it could either make like a tank top. It looks like lace weight. It doesn't look like fingering weight. It's super wash, but it says to wash with cold water. Oh, during the first couple of washes. But still, everything, yeah, it'll definitely be hand washed. This yarn was made in China, which I was like, but yeah, I got this. So those were my acquisitions, or some acquisitions that happened this year. I have had some amazing acquisitions lately that I plan on getting those also recorded and uploaded. With the exception of one thing that I will be purchasing later on this week. I'm definitely on a yarn diet. It is kind of crazy how much yarn has fallen into my lap after I've paid for it. But I've had some really great deals lately, and I've got so many sweaters worth quantities that I'm excited about. So yeah, I'm looking forward to starting to knit for some more family members, some close friends, myself. So yeah, I am going to take a quick break and feed this guy, and then I will talk about training and some of my upcoming plans. Well, that was fun. While I was eating and feeding Trimley, I didn't realize that how low my battery was on my phone, or the charge was, and then it died. So I'm a bit thrown off. Alright, so training updates. I have early July, I also started training over at Fight Ready up in Scottsdale, which is super cool. So I haven't trained with him too much, but Eddie Cha is up there, and I trained with him briefly in 2016 when I was training out at the MMA lab, which was my second attempt at getting back into professional MMA. But then I had a couple, I did a really hard sparring round with somebody, and we weren't supposed to be throwing knees. They threw a knee. Gorgeous. No, I'm joking. He was at least 170 pounds. Man, deviated my septum. It looked like my nose had exploded, and I was working as a social worker in a hospital at that point. Oi. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a single mother. What if that caused brain damage? So I stopped training then. So that was back in 2016. So yeah, but I had taken some of his classes and really enjoyed working with him. When I found out he was up at Fight Ready, I was like, ooh. So I'm training there in addition to J Pages for Jiu-Jitsu. I'm walking around 130 to 132 pounds right now. I do want to fight at 125, and I'm working on getting my weight to about 128, so I only have 3 pounds to cut. There's no denying the fact that I am on the older side of things as far as women's MMA goes. I am 42 years old, and so I don't want to Fighting obviously is not the best thing that I can do for my body, but I don't want to mess up anything with like unnecessary weight cuts. So there's that. Jiu-Jitsu World League is coming up in September. I will not be competing this year, but I am excited to see the teammates from Jay Pages do that. And then knitting plans. So I do want to make another camisole number 9. And I want to make it out of this, which is Aracunia. I feel like I can't pronounce anything, but it is a sock yarn, and I think it would be lovely. There's definitely lots of pink happening right now. I shouldn't put that there because it's going to be somewhere else. I'm going to cast on a mitered square blanket for my daughter with pink and blue, probably some white or some cream to break it up so it's not too much. I do want to do some of the doodle knitting by Jamie Lomax. I really want to make Christmas stockings. I've wanted to make coordinating Christmas stockings for years. I'm not quite sure what Christmas is going to look like this year. It will just be me and my daughter, but I'm going to make my son a stocking anyways. I'm going to, I had a sewing project back in 2014 that I was working on that I put to the wayside when I started working more as a case manager. And so I'm going to try that on over the next couple of days and see if it does still fit. I think I only had like the zipper left to install and like maybe the edging for the neckline. So I want to see if I can fit that because I do want to sew other things, but I feel like I need to get that project done before I start sewing something else. I do want to make the jelly bean cardigan for my daughter by Sarah Hatton, and I also want to look into I want to do some more toy knits. I've got Timmy from Shaun the Sheep that I need to sew up, and I've got some Peter Rabbit toys that I want to knit, just to knit because I like knitting, and I like Peter Rabbit. But I did see that Debbie Bliss has come out with a Peter Rabbit knitting book, so yeah, that's super cool too. So that is all for today's vlog. I'm going to try and do a similar format. I'm going to start posting more often. I would like to do weekly, but I don't know if bi-weekly is going to be more likely or feasible with my schedule. Again, it's knitting and MMA in Arizona. So yeah, I will be talking about fight-related things, inserting some clips. I might do a little like montage of Thailand pictures at the end of this. Yeah, and I'm gonna like tag a whole bunch of things below in the comments. I do have 60 subscribers as of today, so whew, I'm getting up there for the subscriptions. I'm going to be doing a combination giveaway on both my Instagram pages and my YouTube page. I'm not quite sure how to pull that off yet, so if anybody knows how to do a cross-platform giveaway, obviously it's one of those ones like subscribe, tag a friend, etc. Because I would like to boost my YouTube viewership and subscription base. But yeah, so and I will be doing some baking and other random things that I'll throw in there. So yeah, I'll do another vlog soon with some of my other acquisitions. I want to do a Flag Fiber Wool Festival recap soon. I had a lot of fun. I went by myself, but I really want to get that all together nicely, and so I think I might work on that some this weekend too. So yay. Please like, subscribe, and yeah, thanks.